Oh, este pelo. Hola, buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Hola, hola. It's like now, Q. He just came Q. Ah, see, I typed the question. Ah, I didn't. ¿Cómo están mis amigos? Uy, mira este pelo. Está. I thought I cut my hair. How you doing? How is it going? Oh, no, I didn't touch anything. I didn't do it. It was just pretending. How's it going? It is cloudy today. And I have heard the sky rumbling around here. How are you doing, my friends? We have today one more question. Welcome. This is Ana Yavorsky, person behind Spanish Playdates, a Spanish program for early learners, early language learners, helping families and helping teachers to implement techniques and tips on how to pass the language to those little people. Welcome today. We have one more question. We have our Q&A week. This is a week, the whole week, Monday through Friday. Tomorrow is the last day. We're going to be going through questions I have from mummies. Next week is going to be something different. It's going to be really fun. Okay, so today our question is from a mommy who has a little child who is 2 years old. She says, I am bilingual. I have a 2-year-old and a baby also, a newborn. And I am struggling with my son because I want to try to speak Spanish to him and start the journey of making the living of the language happen. But it is easier for him just to keep going in English, and I don't know how to make that transition. So what is the most difficult thing for you? Make the transition into this environment, into this new thing that is happening at home. Well, so this is a really nice question, or a really nice thing to do for you because you really want to do it. And if your child is not paying attention right now, it's because he's 2 years old, of course. If you're trying to share the new language with him, I would suggest you start with flashcards. It is the easiest way how you can start teaching him Spanish. Use some flashcards. I'm sure you have some time for him to play, to maybe do some coloring with you, do some books with you. So use one of those little moments that you have to show him flashcards. It's very easy to just show him flashcards. Now, you might not have flashcards available. You can purchase them online, or you can make them yourself. It's very easy. I was wondering if I have sticky notes, because you can use some sticky notes and just draw something something simple like shapes, or maybe you can color the colors and write their names, and then just start just showing him the flashcards. If you need some, if you are like, no, I don't want to be drawing or doing the flashcards myself, you can just go online. You can go to Amazon. For example, these are one of the flashcards I use when I'm teaching, but these ones are for sight words in Spanish. So this is good for children who are probably about 6 years old, who are already in kindergarten and going to first grade, because they already know some of the phonetics with the language, with English, and you can grab that the phonics sounds, and start using them. So we have the flashcards like that. You can just purchase them. They are not really pricey. I can, even if you want, I can just link. I can just put a link below and you can click there. I can show you the flashcards I use when I want to purchase, or what I suggest to my students. So this is one, but this is for older ones, and they have some that are for vocabulary and for regular general things that we do at home. So you can start with flashcards. Really, how do you make that transition? There is a trick that I'm going to show you now. Now, the trick that I use with my students is to make a bridge, because you have to bridge the language between the English and the Spanish. So that bridge that you are going to start building between those two words, or between those two meanings, no meanings, the words, because the meaning is the same. Let's say you have rojo and then you have red, right? It's the same meaning, it's a color, but that bridge, you can use sign language, which is what I use. You can use sign language, or you can use a visual. A sign language is already a visual, but if you have a flashcard, you can make that transition. It's just the bridge you have to build. Now, something you could do is asking the question, because she's talking about a 2-year-old. You can use a little simple technique that I use, which is touching his chin. And you tell him, every time I touch your chin, I would like you to repeat with me the word. So you say rojo, rojo, and you show the flashcard rojo. And he says red, you say yes, rojo. And then you keep repeating that until your child says rojo. Let's say you have another.
¿Qué es esto?
Eso es un jugo de mami, déjalo ahí. If you have another flashcard, and let's say it's a perro, it's a dog, right? So you get the flashcard, and your child will say dog, doggy, and you say, yeah, it's a doggy, but we say perro in Spanish, perro, dog, perro, and then you touch your child's chin, perro, and every time you do this process, you touch your chin and touch your child's chin. What does that do? The repetition of this technique will help you, and help your child to build the bridge between those two new words. Between, not two, but all the words that you want to show them. All the words, if you use the same technique for every new vocabulary word you want to add, then you will start just using the same. That is going to build a bridge, because the goal is that they transition into this environment. I see a lot of children who are just dumped into, let's say, Spanish classroom, and then the teachers start just speaking English, Spanish or English or any other second language. Sometimes the children get like, I'm lost, completely lost. And I know that is one of the ways how you can learn the language full time. It's like when you go into an immersion, right? An immersion setting. But if you see that the child starts refusing and you need that extra help, you can start bridging those new vocabularies, new sentences. You can do it with vocabulary, single words. You can do it with small sentences, with small questions, until your child gets engaged into that process. And there's going to be a time where you don't have to touch your chin, you don't have to touch his chin or her chin. You just go and repeat the word that you want them to say. You repeat the question you want them to repeat. Let me see. So that's my suggestion for today. If you really want to do it, like this mommy who is a mommy of a 2-year-old and a newborn, and she's wondering how she can start transitioning into using this language in her everyday life, then I will suggest you to bridge the language with flashcards. Bridge the language with this technique of touching your chin and touching your child's chin. And repeat and repeat. One more thing you have to remember. For something new, to be memorized and to click, you need at least 21 repetitions of the same thing. It's like when you are going to help your child to go party, you have to do it over and over and over, at least 21 times. If you want your child to go to bed a certain time, you put a routine and you do it and do it and do it and do it until your child says, okay, it's time to go to bed. It's a technique that you are applying for your child to learn something or to do something. It's the same with the language. Use that technique and let me know how it goes. Well, I hope that helps. Drop a comment below. Let me know if this is helpful to you. Maybe share it with somebody who might need also this technique. And I will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to answer the last question I have from these mommies. And the following week is going to be a nice week because we're going to be having some mini classes inside of our Spanish group, okay? The Spanish Playdate students, the group that we have created, which is private. So in order for you to participate in those classes that are meant for you and your child, you will have to get into the group, okay? Tomorrow I will share a link with the material, a PDF material for the following week that you will have to download and print. So we're gonna be ready for our next week of free mini classes, okay? I'll talk to you tomorrow and let me know what you think about this. Un beso, un abrazo, adiós.